Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends. Welcome back to our Ipswich Buses halftime show. I'm, of course, your host, the Governor. This is Alex Wilson. This is Stephen Thomson. Let's see how long I can last in a 10-minute show. But it is halftime. This is your 10-minute roundup. Town are leading 1-0. Alex, you are the newbie here. Kick us off. What did you make of the first half from a Town perspective?
I'm impressed. I thought we did well. I don't think Pompey have caused us that many problems. I'm very impressed with Kyle Edwards today. He seems to be doing normal Kyle Edwards things. The goal for Macaulay Bonne was typical Macaulay Bonne. You know, we saw that sort of thing against Sheffield Wednesday. What the goalkeeper was doing, I haven't quite worked that bit out yet. What he was trying to do, but then
Norris in it.
Yeah, but then they made a good point on commentary just afterward. They said that the reason that he went to Pompey was because they like to play out from the back a bit more, which is obviously what the ethos at Man City is. So whether he was thinking he was at the Etihad and he got a bit of time on the ball rather than League One on Tuesday night, possibly that might have been what was going on. It concerned me a little bit. There's not much going down our right-hand side. We're very heavy on the left-hand side at the moment. You know, Aluko hasn't really been in the game much for me today. He's shown flashes, but I think we need to sort of maybe vary our attacks a little bit, because if we keep going on down the left-hand side for the second half, Portsmouth are going to get wise to that and going to cut off that outlet, you would think.
Okay, we've got infamous Swiggy G. Every Tuesday I follow. Mike D. Ugly game, but we need an ugly win to go with it. Michael Yorston. Well, that was shite. Ugly Angels, says infamous Greggy, or Ugly Angles, rather. Coxey's comments. Shades of Marcus Stewart, semi-final goal there by Bonne. Josh Russell, let's hold a lead for once. I'll take any kind of win right now, says EJ Norris. Mark Dowling. Aluka has not a tap for me that half. Every game up to that, even game up to that calamity. All right, so it even game up to the calamity. I do apologise. It is a bad day for me, isn't it? Tractor Boy got a goal. Would you the high pressing? Good play. Legacy Bates. We need Burns to come on. So Aluko getting a bit of criticism there. Steve, how did you see the first half before we get into individual players?
It was scrappy, wasn't it? It was scruffy. Some pretty hefty and silly challenges by both teams. Some which might well have been challenges that weren't actually spotted on both sides, I think. I'm happy to be 1-0 up. I'll take any sort of win right now with where we are, definitely. But Macaulay Bonne just at it again. That's brilliant. Absolutely humiliating goalkeeper since 2021.
Absolutely, yeah. Great finish as well. He had an awful lot to do, didn't he? Because the tackle took him a bit wide, to the byline. And I've seen him missed from there, and I've seen goalkeepers recover from there. So he took it really well, to be fair, didn't he?
I thought it would be a similar sort of situation to when he did it previously, where he'd have to sort of cut it back across and pass to someone else. But no, he managed to get the angle and buried it, and that was awesome. So it's good to see, but no team is really on top in this one. It's very sort of, it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, absolutely. Bod the Nod showing a bit of grit out there. The game might open up as they push for a goal, leaves them open on the counter, Burns on at 60 minutes. I said to somebody, not quite sure, I can't remember who it was, it's the equivalent of a backside goal, and you need that at times, particularly as the run we're on. That is a goal that come off someone's backside. And you hope, if you use it to go and win the game, that it can catalyst and give you a platform onto bigger and better things. Alex mentions Aluko there, Steve. How did you see Aluko's first half?
Pretty anonymous, really. He did so well in the last game. It'd be nice for him to keep it up, maybe get a goal today. He's not. I've not really seen too much of him, really. He's had a couple of good touches and a couple of good passes, but some poor ones, and he's largely gone pretty under the radar. It's all been a lot of focus on people, obviously Macaulay Bond, Kyle Edwards. But yeah, Aluko's gone a little bit AWOL.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of his tracking back at one point, Alex. Thanassian had 2 or 3 players streaming at him, and the right midfielder, which in this case is obviously Sonny Aluko, was just sort of, jogging back. I was, come on, put it in, son.
I think that's what you get when you get. I think Aluko is one of those attacking right side midfielders, whereas when you have Wes Burns in that position, because he can obviously drop back and play right back when necessary. I think Wes Burns is maybe possibly a little bit more defensively minded to a degree than Sonny Aluko is. But I agree. If you're going to fulfil that role, then Sonny Aluko needs to do his share of the. We always say you defend from the front, so Sonny Aluko needs to do his share. If he's in that role, you can't leave Thanassian exposed.
No, absolutely not. Steve, Toto. We spoke about him before the show, during the first show rather. First half to the books now. How did you see Toto's first half?
It's been a bit up and down. It's been very Toto. There was a bit towards the end of the first half where he stood on the ball, and I thought he was just going to get done there, and he managed to clear it. But early on, he lost the ball, didn't he? In quite a silly way, and he was lucky that the other defender managed to get back. And was it Thanassian who managed to get back and cover him?
I think it was, yeah.
Because he then got taken out. But
him and Walton have also had a little bit of issues.
Yes, very early on as well. I thought this is typical Toto. No, he's shaky. I think he'll get into it, but yeah, it's a hell of a game to ask him to come back into, as he's not really been in the team that much recently. It's a tough game to jump into. So he hasn't given away a penalty
so far. Touch wood.
Yes.
Danny Allen thought Aluka did well, but also thought Enciala played well. Far to me, Sangrias, I'm sure. Carl Brooks, Thanassian needs Burns in front of him. Can't see Cook leaving that sum till the 80th minute. Joe's enjoying the game with more than one camera angle. Yeah, I think I am as well, to be fair, Joe. Mark Dowling, while he hasn't had a save to make, I can't believe Walton was our first choice goalkeeper in the window. Carl Brooks, Toto is so bad. Don't see the fascination with him. He's a calamity. Matt Johnson, tremendous bit of skill by Toto. Took 2 players out of the game. That's when he saw on the ball. That's when you know it might be your night. When you're centre up, not only does your left winger make a no-look pass that goes to your player and evades their one striker, your centre half then stands on the ball and in doing so takes himself out of trouble. That is when you know it might, and I whisper it, might just be your night.
Yeah, don't say it too loudly.
When that sort of thing really happens. Safety guy. Still no confidence at the back. Burns need to come on ASAP. Poor game from him for so far. Right. As we sort of round up the show, Alex, what do you want to see from Town in this next 45? How do you see it going? What do you want to see?
I just want to see us be defensively solid. Is what I'd quite like. I'd quite like to possibly see some more stuff coming down the right-hand side and maybe switching it up a little bit, rather than relying down the left, and possibly just being calm at the back, like I say, and not trying to play long, silly balls and giving Portsmouth possession. Just put a foot on it, keep it calm.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I agree. I want to see us be solid at the back. I don't want to see us fold again like we have done so many times. I'd like to see better substitutions made at better times. If it's an unchanged team for the second half, maybe bring Burns on slightly earlier, certainly for Aluko, just to help Thanassian out. Just hold it. Just don't collapse again.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I'd like to see maybe a bit greedy, but first of all, it's the 3 points. But I'd like to see Town now go and pose a little bit on the game. Go and see the game out in a professional manner. If you concede, fine, but don't let your head drop and go on to win the game. What I'm really worried about, and I'll be honest here, is that we go on to concede and we go on to lose, because then you're not only are you getting beat, of course, that's catastrophic, but then you're starting to build this mindset of every time you score, the back of your mind goes, oh no, we're bound to concede in a minute, and you start to build this little bit of negativity and phobia about scoring goals, because every time you score you seem to concede and go on to lose. So I really hope we see it out, obviously, but just for a long-term mentality point of view, if you do concede, head up, shoulders out, let's go again. Because I think that first half been fairly even Stevens and a little bit of quality. And you hope for once we have that on the pitch and for ourselves, we'll go on to win it. A few comments before we go. We have got Billy Ford, Toto's class. He's such a class defender now, even though last couple of seasons not great. Danny Allen, Cambridge first time performance, and we win this game. Burns for me. Come on, you Blues. Michael Yorston, meanwhile, finds it difficult to watch. No quality from either side. Not sure this will finish with 22 on the pitch. Kev Sherwood. Luco isn't getting out wide. So, Kev, did you not go in the end? I wasn't sure if you were going to manage to get there or not. I think this is a tactic to pack the midfield a bit more. I think it won't be Burns, but Harper, who replaces him. Possibly. Good shout. I don't mind who replaces who, as long as it's, tactically sound. I think, as Alex was sort of alluding to there. Lee, keep passing the ball and control the game. The ball is going to hold up in the wind. So pick up the second half ball in and around our box will be key. Right, we are back at full time for the fans react. That's when all of you guys and girls come on the show. Join Alex, join Steve. Have your say at full time on what you think about Town, Cook, the weather, anything you like. It's the Fans React show. Hopefully, fingers crossed, praise the Lord, we are reacting on a 3 points. But this is Ipswich Bus's match day ticket until full time. He's Alex, he's Steve, I'm the Guv. We'll catch you.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without